News 5 Live. Former two-time mayor turned firebrand activist Zenaida Moya is arrested and charged for heading anti-vaccine protests. Attorney Arthur Saldivar explains the constitutional challenge brought by the Mennonite community on vaccine mandate. A murder in Belize City upon release of SOE inmates. Was it gang-related? And Paul Williams explains the new COVID-19 regulations. Details of these stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
Stay safe and submit your sickness benefit claim form electronically. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1. Obtain your medical certificate. At consultation, the doctor certifies your days of illness and provides you with a medical certificate. Step 2. Fill out your sickness benefit form. Complete all the fields in parts 1 to 4 on the front page of the sickness benefit form. Step 3. Request your salaries record form. Contact your employer for your salaries record form. Step 4. Submit your sickness benefit claim form. Scan or take a clear picture of the sickness benefit form, salaries record, and proof of bank account. Email the documents to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz within 14 days. You will receive an email reply confirming receipt of your claim. After the submission of all documents, your claim is processed for payment to your account. For any COVID-related illnesses, contact the Ministry of Health for further guidance. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
This Monday on Get the Facts. The National Referral Hospital is full to capacity. What does this mean? And we look at the demographics of patients who have been hospitalized and died since the spike in COVID cases. Get the Facts features internist Dr. Eric Bradley, epidemiologist Dr. Selma Bermudez, and respiratory therapist Berta Gonzalez from the KHMH. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, September 20th. Catch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Send your questions to 672-5555 or via Facebook using hashtag #GetTheFacts.
Welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, September 20th. I am Sabrina Daly. Belize's growing anti-vaccination movement had its eyes set on the old capital this weekend, where several groups were planning to converge on downtown Belize City to protest government's vaccine mandate. Among them was the Belize Rights and Justice Movement, led by former Mayor Zenaida Moya, who has been vocal in her objection to the vaccine initiative. While the others were stopped from reaching their destination, Moya reportedly organized a gathering of supporters and took to the streets of the city to demonstrate, without the permission of the Belize Police Department. When they arrived near Cinderella Plaza, having been warned twice that what they were doing is illegal, the GI3 was unleashed on them to break up the gathering. In the process, Moya was arrested and charged. Tonight, we begin our coverage of the weekend's many COVID-related activities with a story on Moya's arrest. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano.
Zenaida Moya, a firebrand, was taken into police custody on Saturday. The former Belize City mayor was subsequently charged with 2 counts related to offenses she purportedly committed, including hosting a gathering of more than 10 persons who are not from the same household. The charges stem from an illegal protest that is believed to have been organized by Moya, an anti-vaccine proponent. Attorney Norman Rodriguez represents Moya.
There was some public event that they had in relation to this non-vaccination, and they went ahead with what they believe was their right to do. And they were on the street walking. I drove around and I saw different groups of people in lines just going along with placards and so on. So that was what prompted that when she was out there with the other people expressing themselves.
That gathering, nonetheless, was never sanctioned by the Belize Police Department. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, there was no permit requested or given for the demonstration to be staged.
Instructions was given to Mr. Rosado to disperse the crowd that were protesting in Belize City. And I know for a fact that they were spoken to in the first instance and were asked to disperse, simply because, 1, they were in breach of the COVID-19 regulations, and 2, they were protesting without a permit. But it would appear as if instead of the crowd getting smaller, the crowd got huger. And so, again, myself and Mr. Rosado dialogue, and I told Mr. Rosado to give them one final warning, and if they do not cooperate, then the GI3 must be brought in to ensure that they disperse, and that the ringleader of the group must be arrested.
And that's what unfolded on Freetown Road near Cinderella Plaza. The unit was called out, and when personnel responded to that location, it was with one purpose: to break up the gathering and take its organizer into custody. Moya has gone on record elsewhere in the media to state that she was manhandled by the officers.
Well, I don't know what she had anticipated. If it is that you are resisting arrests and not cooperating with the police, if she believed that the police would have just walked away and leave her there. The law dictates that the police must use only force that is necessary to detain a person. And having looked at the video I saw on social media with her arrest, I could see that the police exercised great restraint in dealing with her, considering how she was behaving, and that minimal force was used to detain her.
Moya's lawyer posits that they may have been protesting under the premise that by simply walking around, one does not need a permit.
If you're holding a public event, the law dictates that you get a permit. But we've seen in the history of this country and over the last few years where in order to not have the need to acquire a permit, people just go out there and they walk around like normal people. I believe this is what they believe they were doing, and if that is the case, then you don't need a permit.
Compol Williams outlined both charges that were brought against Moya, a key figure in the Belize rights and justice movement.
She was issued with 2 violation tickets, one for being in public without a face mask, and the other one for, I think the other one was for organizing, no, she was arrested and charged for organizing a gathering which was more than 10 persons, and she was charged for the offense of organizing a demonstration without a permit.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
As we mentioned earlier, several motorcades were prevented from arriving in Belize City on Saturday, and law enforcement officers were deployed to the George Price and Philip Golson highways to thwart their attempt at protesting downtown. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, with Belize City being the current epicenter of COVID-19, such an activity would have endangered the public.
The public were warned not to organize or to partake in any such event due to the fact that it was illegal. These persons had not even applied for a permit to demonstrate. So what we did on Saturday morning, anticipating that there may be defiance to our requests, we set up checkpoints at the Tower Hill Bridge and at mile 31 on the George Price Highway to await those persons who we anticipated would have left from the south, the west, and the north to go into the city from reaching the city. And so, yes, we intercepted a large motorcade at mile 31 on the George Price Highway. And likewise at the Tower Hill Bridge in Orange Walk Town. And those persons in those motorcades were disallowed from going any further. Again, we know that Belize City is the epicenter of COVID-19 right now. Most of the cases we're seeing daily emanates from Belize City. And so to have such a large gathering in Belize City at this time is surely nonsensical and putting the lives of innocent people at risk of contracting the COVID-19 virus.
Attorney Arthur Saldivar and a team of lawyers are preparing to represent up to 200 claimants in a constitutional challenge against the COVID-19 regulations. His clients, many of whom are from the Mennonite community, are saying that their constitutional rights were infringed upon on Saturday when they were blocked by police in La Democracia village. This, along with claims against the COVID regulations and additional claimants being added to the list, makes for an ever-evolving court case. We spoke with Saldivar via phone today.
First and foremost, the Mennonite community is not engaged in any litigation. They are persons and Belizean citizens from the Mennonite community that are seeking to have their constitutional rights upheld. At this point, we have quite a number of people. I cannot really, I'm not at liberty to disclose names until the matter is before the court. So this will, in terms of that, this will be the extent of it. In terms of, I believe it's not a secret at this point that there are members from the Mennonite community that are seeking to challenge the SIs and its restrictions as relates to their constitutional freedoms. This is a situation where the Mennonite community, in terms of member Belizeans from that community and other Belizeans, have recognized where their rights are being infringed upon and seek to have the court in its jurisdiction as the oversight body responsible for interpreting the Constitution. They want the court to look into it from that point of view, to make a determination whether their constitutional rights are in fact being infringed.
How many clients are you representing in this particular case?
There are roughly about 100 to 200 people. As you know, there is a constitutional right to privacy, there's a constitutional right to life, there's a constitutional right to conscience, protection of your right of conscience, and the protection of right to movement, which was violated over the weekend. There were some 60 members of the Mennonite community that was stopped, had their licenses photographed, have themselves photographed by police, irrespective of the fact that there is a court judgment that outlaws that kind of behavior by the police. In fact, the government of Belize was made to pay, I believe, about $50,000 for that practice, but yet and still, the law enforcement agency of Belize have taken upon itself to break the law and to violate the constitutional rights of citizens of Belize.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams also spoke on the matter, adding that the Constitution provides for certain limitations of those fundamental rights and freedoms. A public health crisis is reason enough for limiting those fundamental rights and freedoms, as per the Constitution, says Compal Williams.
You would know that in Section 3 of the Constitution, which we refer to as the Introduction to the Bill of Rights, it clearly stipulates that we do have certain fundamental rights and freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution. But in that same section, it also says that these rights are subject to certain limitations, public health being one of those listed limitations. And so, yes, while we do, as citizens of this country, have certain fundamental rights and freedom, those rights do have limitations. And it cannot be that we must exercise our individual rights at the expense of the greater good of the society or the community. It cannot be that one individual person's right must trump the rights of humanity. I believe that the spirit of the Constitution was set up in such a way that it protects the masses of the people. And so, like I said again, as I've said before, that if these people believe that the COVID-19 regulation repugnance the provisions of the Constitution, then there is a legal recourse that they can take to challenge the regulation in the Supreme Court.
And with that, the police have been cracking down on the Mennonite community of Spanish Lookout. According to Commissioner Williams, a team of officers went into the community to enforce the COVID-19 regulations. And as a result, a number of tickets were issued. Compal Williams says the police are not targeting the Mennonite community, but the department cannot take willful blindness to what is happening within the community. Williams says the laws are for everyone to adhere to.
When you look at the definition of public, it says public is any place to which the general populace are invited, either directly or impliedly. Now, we can look at Spanish Lookout. Yes, it is a Mennonite community. But, Jules, you and I can go to Spanish Lookout and shop. The Belizeans who are from outside of Spanish Lookout, we can go to Spanish Lookout unimpeded to go and shop. The stores in Spanish Lookout are public places. The general public goes into those stores and purchase whatever they want once it is sold there. So how could you call those private places? Even if you have your house, if you have a private yard, and you decide that you are going to put perhaps a fast food place in your private yard, where you invite the public to come and buy, it automatically makes your private yard a public place. So to use that justification that Spanish Lookout is private, it's not going to hold water.
The Belize Council of Churches has come out with a position in favor of COVID vaccinations. In a recorded statement, the heads of various denominations, including Bishop Lawrence Nicasio of the Roman Catholic Diocese, shared a unified message urging all eligible Belizeans to get inoculated.
We long for a return to a sense of normalcy, but that is only possible if we each do our part to reverse the present trends and arrest this crisis.
The tenets of our faith as Christians admonish us to demonstrate our love for God by loving each other in the manner we desire to be loved, respected, and cared for, as demonstrated in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 to 40. This requires of us a level of selflessness, a sense of responsibility, and a commitment to be our sisters and brothers' keepers, looking out for the welfare of others and not just for ourselves. Individuals who refuse to get vaccinated and follow protocols have endangered our whole nation, and they seem to forget that it is not just about them.
We thus call on every citizen and resident of our beautiful country to take responsibility by following protocols and to get vaccinated if medically able to do so. The evidence is overwhelmingly clear that vaccines save lives and prevent serious illness from the virus.
We give God thanks for the gift of this beautiful land we call home, as we celebrate 40 years of political independence under the theme, Belize at 40, hopeful hearts, steady hands, together we rise.
Coming up, a 17-year-old is gunned down in a drive-by shooting, and 50 SOE inmates are released. What does it mean for a pending gang truce?
Congratulations to our Belizean friends. Taiwan joins the people and the government of Belize in celebration of the 40th anniversary of Belize independence. As a trustworthy and faithful ally of Belize, the Embassy of Taiwan looks forward to continuing to work hand in hand with the government of Belize to further strengthen the bilateral partnership and further enhance the well-being and the benefit of the Belizean people. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, The Barry, Quartz, Shopigas, Gadgets, and Cellular Plus. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
The COVID vaccines that we have available are very effective and safe. And it is very important for elderly persons and frontline health workers and other frontline workers to get it, because these vaccines protect you from becoming ill if you get COVID.
As COVID-19 vaccines are approved for use in the general population, monitoring for safety continues. Each COVID-19 vaccine goes through the same clinical trials and rigorous study as with all other vaccines, with the focus on safety and efficacy.
Nothing goes into the nucleus, nothing affects the genetic code of the human. It is a very safe vaccine. this is a vaccine that we all need to take because it will keep us safe.
Vaccines bring us closer.
So I'm going to wonder if by chance I could get your number. Digit. Nice.
Of course. You have digital, right?
Yeah. Of course.
The truth is, your credit lasts way longer with Digi. Like if you top up with like $30, that could last you 90 days. With the other guys, that must save 60. Then with the other guys, you have to use all of your good prime credit before you even touch your bonus credit. But with Digi, you could use your bonus credit before you even touch your prime credit. Like what are the point to have free credit if you can't use it how you want? So what are your number?
Just give me one moment.
The truth is, only Digi offers nationwide LTE coverage, fastest mobile data speeds, and the best call quality.
If you really want to experience Belize, come down south, let's go to Mayan World. So many things to do, to a destination of Belize, we are Mayan World. ATV trails to horseback riding. If you want to get wet or river tubing, the highest and the best views when it comes to zip lining. And if you only want to walk the hiking trail, I'm sure you find amusing. And the waterfall, Mother Nature at her best. A rush of adrenaline when your waterfall repelling. Welcome to South Belize. Welcome to Mayan World. That way we going. Mayan World. Mayan World. You are Mayan World. Mayan World. Mayan World. Mayan Belgica. Where are we going? Welcome to South Belize. Welcome to Mayan World. Mayan World. We're located at 21.5 miles Southern Highway, Stanquick District. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Mayan World Destinations, and our Instagram page, Mayan World Belize. Book your tours today.
It's Brothers Habet's big September celebrations, patriotic sale, and we got super deals all month long, like 15% off all our quality decorative paints. You can wave your flag too. Plus, get 15 to 30% off tons of items store-wide, and lots of good stuff on clearance. So come into Brothers Habet on Barrack Road to celebrate your patriotism all September. Brothers Habet wishes all Belizeans a happy and safe September celebration.
A 17-year-old Belize City resident succumbed to gunshot injuries this morning following a shooting on Sunday evening. Michael Henry was traveling in a vehicle along with 4 other persons when another vehicle drove up and a barrage of bullets was unleashed on them. Henry and another passenger were injured, while Rudolph Gladden survived the attack and has since been released from the hospital. Henry died. News 5's Wayne Moody reports.
Michael Henry and Rudolph Gladden were traveling in the back seat along with another person, while Akeem Baptist and another were seated up front. Akeem was behind the steering wheel of a Ford Fusion car. They were turning into the city after going swimming up the George Price Highway when a black SUV that was traveling behind them opened fire. Multiple shots caught 17-year-old Henry, while 2 bullets made their mark on Gladden.
Upon reaching a point on the George Price Highway near the Puma roundabout, and a lone gunman opened fire in their direction causing his fatal injury and also injuring 32-year-old Rudolph Gladden, who was also a passenger in that vehicle. Michael Henry was rushed to the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital, where he was listed in a critical condition. Gladden has since been treated and released, and sometime this morning after 6, I received information that Michael Henry had succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead by a medical officer.
The family of Henry was too distraught to give a comment at this time, but in our archives we found that the teenager was active in sports, playing basketball and football. We are told that he was not caught up in the criminal justice system and was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Based on what investigators have shared with me so far, because there were more than one person in that vehicle at that time, to determine whether or not he was the intended target would be difficult for us. And in all fairness to him, based on what I know of him, I am still disturbed by the news. I mean, if you knew this youth, knew of his balling capabilities, it would be devastating to you, hearing that something like this could knock on a door so close to you. So we have extended our investigation to view all different angles. We believe that by the end of this investigation, hopefully we can unravel the mystery surrounding the death of yet another youth. We don't know how much of this the general public can take, where our youths, especially promising youths, are just losing their life senselessly. No?
Inside the vehicle at the time were 2 Baptist brothers. We spoke with their mother this afternoon, who says that the killing of Henry was uncalled for.
The young man where they killed was a very nice young man. When they even fool with nobody and that thing where they hurt me, he no fool with people. He no gallis. He no gallis. Alone girl, everybody talk about. They boy no got time to think about hold no gun or kill nobody. All where we want now, we want justice. We want justice for him, man. Cause I live by the love. I live by the only 5, 6 years old. All right now I feel it. All right now we the mourn.
Denise Flowers says that they are grieving the death of Henry and want justice.
But the boy no put down the gun. This not make no sense. For the kill people. People get tired enough. If you notice the past 2 months, you don't see nothing happen back at Martins. Everybody they in their own corner. Everybody about peace and love. You understand? And then the trouble just come to us. You understand? And I lose a son 2 years ago, for 2 years, right? And up to now, I still grieve inside. Up to now, I did not get no justice from the police, from no one about my son who they killed. And we left it like that because in this world, yeah, there's a God, and God not asleep. Anything that you do, what come back and haunt you, it's just a matter of time.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Less than an hour after the drive-by shooting, shots rang out once again in Belize City and in the same vicinity. Police are reporting that just around 6:30 p.m., 2 persons on a motorcycle rode past Ellsworth Hendy and a female friend who were on bicycle at the junction of Faubers Road and the George Price Highway. The men on the motorcycle stopped a short distance away and fired shots in their direction. Reports are that a bullet caught Hendy in the face and he is admitted in a critical condition at the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital. ASP Fitzroy Yearwood shared details.
Police responded to a shooting on Upper Vernon Street, where in a yard they met with one Ellsworth Hendy, a upholstery worker of a Belize City address, who was rushed to the called Hushna Memorial Hospital with a single gunshot wound to the body. Our initial investigation so far has unraveled that around 6:40 p.m. he was riding on separate bicycles with a female friend from a direction not too far from where the shooting occurred. And two persons on a motorcycle overtook them on the street, stopped a few feet from them, while the passenger fired a single gunshot, causing his injury. We have officers canvassing that area, trying to find out what could have been the motive behind that shooting, and hopefully we could get some answers to try to ascertain who are the suspects in that shooting. No?
A group of 50 men, all believed to be actively involved in various gang rivalries, was released from the Belize Central Prison over the weekend at the end of a 30-day state of emergency that was affected on the south side of Belize City. But was the month-long lockdown effective in calling a ceasefire among the warring factions? According to Compol Chester Williams, while some feuds are deep-seated, a move is being made to bring about a meaningful truce.
I know that during the time they were incarcerated, the Ministry of Human Development, via the Conflict Mediation and Modification Center, under the stewardship of Abdul Nunes, and the leadership intervention team headed by Mr. Rosado and Mr. Darcy, and other groups did visit the prison on numerous occasions and dialogue with these young men. May I say the Minister of Home Affairs also went twice and spoke with them. From what I gather, the feedback from the discussions had was favorable, and I discussed it with Mr. Dawson yesterday, and this is William Dawson, who happened to be employed at Colby as well. He told me that they are in the process of trying to work out a truce. I am optimistic that it is going to work out. I know that it is not easy, considering the fact that some of the wounds of these young men goes deep, and the hate and anger that they may have towards each other may be at an extremely high level. Perhaps the time spent incarcerated was used to try and mend some of the hurt and to remove some of the anger.
In discussing the fatal shooting incident that took place in Belize City on Sunday evening, the top cop says that the police department will focus similar attention on the PIV and Bacalans gangs who've had a bitter rivalry over the years. According to the commissioner, their proximity to each other in terms of their respective turfs makes policing difficult.
We looked at last night, and we had two separate shootings last night in Belize City. In the first instance, two persons were shot, one of whom succumbed to his injury this morning, and that person happened to be a 17-year-old, a minor. And the other shooting near the cocktail shop where another person was shot in the face. It does not look good. And we know that when there is rivalries between the PIV and the Bacalan groups, that it can be extremely challenging due to the close proximity within which these groups live. And the fact that they can easily access each other area through various routes. So it makes it challenging for the police. Nonetheless, we are in operation mode within the Martins area, and we will do what needs to be done. I would just hope that the public will understand that we must do certain things to restore some sense of normalcy within the Martins area. We cannot and will not allow these two groups to go at each other, because that will put the lives of the ordinary persons who are not involved in gangs at risk.
There was another shooting that occurred on Sunday, but is not gang-related. Dean Vaccaro was shot by his relative, Albert Vaccaro, during an argument in Sandhill Village just after midday. It is not known what triggered the argument, but it ended with Albert pulling out his license gun and firing a single shot at Dean. Here's ASP Fitzroy Yearwood with more details.
Albert Vaccaro, a car dealer, reported that Dean Vaccaro went to his home, private property, and was being a nuisance and was behaving in a boisterous behavior. He's claiming that he asked Dean on several times to leave his property, but Dean refused to do so. Dean became more aggressive. He went for his licensed 9mm and is claiming that he fired a single shot, trying to deter Dean from being so aggressive, and he caused the injury to Dean, who was transported to the Karhushna Memorial Hospital and is in a stable condition. What we also gathered is that the argument was allegedly over some vehicle parts that Dean believed he was entitled to.
There was also loss of life reported in the north on Sunday evening. Just after 5 p.m., 17-year-old Luis Martinez, a construction worker of August Pine Ridge Village in the Orange Walk district, died in a road traffic accident in the village. 63-year-old Eustachio Sanchez was behind the wheel of his pickup on the main road in the village when a motorcycle driven at the time by Martinez collided into the right front fender and front passenger door of the pickup. Martinez died on the spot. Communications Director, Assistant Superintendent Fitzroy Yearwood of the Belize Police Department shared details.
17-year-old Luis Martinez was driving a motorbike, and 63-year-old Pastor Sanchez, who did cooperate with the police and took them to the scene where this accident occurred. He's claimed that he was taking a left turn, that Martinez was taking a left turn on his motorbike and collided into his right front fender of his vehicle, causing his injury. Martinez was transported to the Northern Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a medical officer.
Samples taken?
Yeah, the police did issue a notice of intended prosecution, and he fully cooperated with the police, as I indicated. So the process is being followed.
After the break, Compol Chester Williams breaks down new COVID-19 regulations, and Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde opens up about the vaccine campaign. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me in Belize. BWS, we make it happen.
For the immediate future, our entire country's focus is to ensure that each of us take adequate measures to mitigate against the COVID-19 pandemic. We all need to ensure frequent hand washing or sanitizing, regular disinfection of surfaces, constant social distancing, and a sufficient supply of sanitizing and cleansing material. At this critical time, a reliable supply of clean potable water is of utmost importance to ensure our health and peace of mind. Water is therefore a vital necessity to help us remain free from illness and ultimately to help Belize's economic recovery. Help us to help you by paying your water bill. Our return to a healthy and vibrant economy depends on you.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
Yashe Conservation Trust works to protect the Maya Golden landscape through enforcement patrols, biodiversity monitoring, freshwater monitoring, to conserve wildlife and their habitats. We work with the MGL communities to promote beekeeping, inga ali cropping, fire management, agroforestry, and raises awareness to maintain a healthy environment for everyone.
The Statistical Institute of Belize is responsible for conducting the National Population and Housing Census every 10 years. While the next one is scheduled for 2022, the Statistical Institute of Belize is already recruiting to fill positions for interviewers, field supervisors, drivers, editor coders, administrative assistants, and IT technicians. These temporary positions for the 2022 census offer competitive wages that are paid weekly. Join the 2022 census team. Applying online is easy. Visit our website at sib.org.bz/census recruitment and click apply. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
Macam Mayan secret vapor gel, good for chest pain, back pain, and joint pain. Maybe good for heart pain too.
Mayan Secret Vapor Gel is a locally produced product that is excellent for deep penetrating relief from muscles, joints, and other body aches. It also offers great relief from cough and cold symptoms.
Patrick! Why? This thing work. Rub up yourself. You need to use it.
Mayan Secret Vapor Gel is available at grocery stores and supermarkets countrywide.
I visited the land of Serbia, a great many miles away. I ascended the Mount Everest few people have conquered. I roared on the snow-covered Antarctic and Arctic. I rolled swiftly across the vast, untamed desert. Linglong Tire conquers every corner of the world.
Distributed by Enrique Martinez and Sons Limited, 2 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include cath lab, adult intensive care unit, neonatal intensive care unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
As of tonight, the curfew hours start at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m. the following day. However, the curfew hours for Mbergriskey, Key Cocker, Placencia, and Hopkins go unchanged and will remain from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. Minors must be within the confines of their home by 6 p.m. unless accompanied by an adult. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, no contact sports are allowed. Casinos and gaming establishments are not allowed to open. Street food vendors can operate for takeout services only. Restaurants and diners also must operate with takeout services only. In Mbergriskey, Key Cocker, Placencia, and Hopkins, restaurants can operate at 75% capacity by reservation only in an open-air, outdoor, or all-fresco setting that is properly ventilated. The Commissioner of Police offered some further clarity on these regulations.
There are some things that needs to be told to the public in terms of how we're going to proceed in the enforcement of particularly the curfew hours. So one of the things that I had discussed with the Minister of Health is that when it comes to resorts outside of the areas that have curfew at 9, that is like, for example, resorts in Cayo District, resorts in Belize, and these sort of things, that those resorts will be, that has a restaurant, the restaurant will be allowed to open beyond 7 o'clock so that they can cater for their guests. And the workers from those resorts will be allowed to go home after having reported off work unimpeded by the police, so long as they can show that they are leaving work and are going home. Persons who are engaged in what we refer to as essential services, again, will be allowed to move around during curfew hours, as well as the no movement Sundays.
Additionally, Sunday, September 26 and October 3rd are declared no movement days. A person will, however, be able to leave home for medical purposes, emergencies, as an essential worker, for food supplies and fuel. Additionally, businesses that provide public transportation and hotels and resorts for the purpose of serving guests are also allowed movement. Compal Williams also offered clarity on this.
Many questions have been asked in terms of the no movement Sundays as it relates to what are permissible from what are not. I think the regulation makes it clear that there are certain services that will remain open on Sundays, and so long as a person is moving to obtain one of those services, then the person movement will be lawful. But if you are moving without one of those purposes, then your movement will be unlawful and will be ticketed by the police. The Philip Wilson International Airport remains open on Sunday. Many persons have asked me So what if I have a relative coming in on Sunday? Can I go and pick up my relative? The answer is yes, you can. You just need to get a copy of your relative itinerary, or if you're a hotelier and you're going to pick up guests, you get a copy of the itinerary for your guests that are coming in, and you can produce the itinerary to the police if you're stopped to say that you're going to the international airport to pick up X, Y, and Z.
PUP area representative for Fort George, Henry Charles Usher, says the black Free Belize flag being flown by those in protest is a flag of anarchy. Usher says their protest for freedom is only helping to push freedom further into the future for Belize.
I know there are some that are skeptical of the vaccine, but certainly this is our best tool in the fight against this pandemic, in the fight against COVID. And so once again, I appeal to all Belizeans to please go out there and get your vaccine. I remember last year this time, we were saying prayers that we were hoping that a vaccine would soon come. We were hoping that they would find some medical breakthrough to deal with COVID. A year later, when the vaccine is here, we have those who refuse to get it. It's quite ironic, I believe. And certainly for those flying that black flag of anarchy, because the black flag is a symbol of anarchy. For those flying that black flag, to me all they're doing is pushing freedom further away, pushing the return to normalcy further away by refusing to listen to the scientists, refusing to listen to the doctors.
Also speaking on the COVID-19 vaccines and those opposing to take the shots was Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde. While taking a softer approach, empathizing with the concerns of anti-vaxxers, Hyde also spoke to the harsh realities of living with the virus in Belize.
This issue, to vax or not to vax, is divisive and threatens to upend all of what George Price taught us at a time when we can least afford to let it. I understand the fear of the anti-vaxxers, because for some it may be visceral, a phobia even, and the ever-mutating variants and their ability to confound the vaccines does not help. And the fact that some people have experienced some bad side effects does not help. And when you add to that the knowledge of the history of European malpractice at the expense of people of color, then it is sure to run deep. But 389 of our Belizean people have died so far at the hands of this deadly disease. Over 300 in the last 10 months alone. And sadly, more of us will die. Dying by COVID is arguably the loneliest, saddest, least dignified way to die. You die alone. Your family cannot be there to hold your hands or kiss your forehead or join you in one last prayer.
Just ahead, observing the 10th anniversary of the passing of the Father of the Nation. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
The vaccine is now available. We here at R&G Life encourage you to take the vaccine. Belize, it's time to roll up our sleeves.
I'm rolling up mine because I know what COVID can do to families.
Because I want to go back to the way things were.
I'm rolling up mine so that I'm able to do music again.
Because I want to protect my family.
Ding!
are slowly getting back to normal. The new normal, which includes getting vaccinated. Trust the facts. When your turn comes, take the opportunity to get vaccinated. Roll up or believe.
Good morning, Belize, and good morning. I say good morning, Belize, and good morning. And how are you this morning?
Get up every morning, life, go to work from day till night. Get up every morning, life, go to work from day till night. I got 7 big feet.
Me, Belize by Leroy Green. I am a beautiful little dancer. I move my hips to the breakdown and the punta. I am many people living in peace. Proud to tell the world, I am Belize. I am the corn, the rice and the beans, the ruins, the keys, and all the rich tropical seas. I am the haven whose wonders never cease. Proud to tell the world, I am Belize. I am the mahogany, tall, regal, and strong. I am the anthem, our national song. O land of the free by the Caribbean Sea. I am the kelp, the lobster, abounding in our Caribbean seas. Proud to tell the world, I am Belize. I am the flag of red, white, and blue, the identity of me and you. I am a child, the future of Belize. Proud to tell the world, I am Belize.
Evening come and I want to go home. Yeah, the shot and the teacher tell you to go home.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
At Belize Diagnostic Center, we offer FDA-approved PCR testing for COVID-19. Get your results as quickly as 1 hour. Don't risk getting exposed to COVID-19 by going elsewhere. We take appointments, or we can come to your home or office using our concierge service with no additional fees. We have 10 locations countrywide. Call or WhatsApp us at 613-TEST. That is 613-8378 to schedule your test today.
It has been 10 years since the passing of Belize's first Prime Minister, the Right Honorable George Cato Price. A wreath-laying ceremony is held annually in his honor at his gravesite at the Lord Ridge Cemetery. The ceremony was held on Sunday with adherence to COVID-19 protocols. News 5's Paul Lopez was there.
Royal salute! Protect! Up!
The
The arrival of Her Excellency Frela Salam, the Governor General of Belize, marked the official start of the wreath-laying ceremony, observing the 10th anniversary of the death of the father of the nation, the Right Honorable George Cadle Price. The ceremony was held on Sunday inside the Lord Ridge Cemetery in Belize City.
George Price was an iconic political leader, a legendary and a humble man, an institution in and of himself, the father of our nation, and a philosophy eternally relevant to the people of Belize and beyond. Today marks one entire decade since his earthly departure, and so offers us an appropriate opportunity to reflect on his teachings and his virtuous vision for our enchanting nation.
Before there was a Pope Francis, there was a George Price, the humblest of leaders the world has ever seen. They don't make them like that no more. That is not to say he was a perfect man. He was a flawed man, as with all men. It is said that there is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. But he was perfectly imperfect.
One by one, dignitaries and government officials arrived at the location. Guided by COVID-19 protocols, the ceremony paid tribute to the life and legacy of the political and national icon. Speaking on the family's behalf was Price's nephew, Clement Usher.
It was during the stay at the Price family home that Uncle George summoned his sister Jane to find a piece of blue cloth and sew a white circle onto it so that they could see what it looked like. They were the nationalists gathered at George Price's house, seated around that historical round table, following the devaluation of the British Honduran dollar. Little did George Price realize that he was instructing his sister Jane to sew the first flag of the peaceful, constructive Belizean Revolution. The flag that would eventually bear the coat of arms and the two strips of red as signs of unity that eventually became the flag of independence, the flag of Belize.
George Price was a man of deep religious convictions. In a recent visit to his former Belmopan home, his nephew Henry Charles Usher, era representative for Fort George, found Price's Bible bookmarked to Psalms 112.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
And I bless the hallowed ground. May this place be a source of inspiration to all who visit it, to all who pray here. May it inspire them to service. May it give them courage to strive for the service that is unafraid of sacrifice and suffering. We ask this, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion, and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. He hath dispersed, he hath given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. They shall gnash with their teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish.
Described as a humble, soft-spoken man, Price led the nation from crown colony to self-governance to independence. It is fitting that on the 40th anniversary of the nation's independence, in the face of a global pandemic and vaccine debates, he is remembered for his ideals on social justice and national unity.
We cannot continue to be this deeply divided as a people and go at each other's throats whenever we disagree. Every disagreement must not devolve into a vicious takedown, racks of bitterness and hatred, and worse, violence. We are all Belizeans, all away. The one. We must acknowledge that there are these deep disagreements among us, and there will always be. It's always been. But we must lower the volume and talk to each other and not at each other. We cannot mandate each other to act. We must seek always to persuade each other of the goodness of our cause. That's the democratic way.
That is the George Price way. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Up next, Belizean Patriots and COVID-19 heroes. Find out who made the list.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases.
St. John's Credit Union.
Have you ever fallen delinquent on your loan payment? Don't know how to get back on track? Bounce back with St. John's Credit Union. Get 10 to 50% off interest and fee when you pay your arrears in full or make suitable payment arrangements on your account. Members who take advantage of this offer get a chance to enter a raffle to win fabulous prizes. Members are advised that this offer ends September 30th. Some conditions apply.
St. John's Credit Union Limited. Safe saving, smart borrowing.
This can be you. Get vaccinated. The life you save can be yours. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Belize at 40. Hopeful hearts, steady hands, together we rise. The entire SMART family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebrations. SMART, bringing people together.
On Sunday night, 19 Belizeans were recognized for their service to the nation through great diligence and sacrifice. These 19 Belizeans were bestowed with national awards at a tribute to Belizean Patriots ceremony inside the Battlefield Park in Belize City. Here are the acceptance speeches from 2 educators who received this award.
My name is Carol Bob. From I was a child, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I like working with children. I believe that we need good teachers in our country so that we can help students, young people, to develop to their fullest potential. I believe that education is the greatest gift that can be given to every child. And I think it is our responsibility as educators, as parents, as government, to ensure that every child in our country get the best quality education. I feel very honored, I feel privileged, and I want to encourage my fellow educators to continue striving for excellence. All educators are deserving of an honor because we work hard, we work long hours. Teaching is a job that you can't go home and say, my job is done. The work continues.
I began working as a teacher in the high school, Cleaver College High School, after I graduated. From there, I obtained training in X-ray and lab technician at the Punta Gorda Hospital. And it was there that I began to give my service to the public. It was in about 1988 that my teaching career began. It was there that I began to teach at the primary level, and I was placed in the upper division. I taught PE, and so I began to train in softball and football along with my husband. And we went to national levels for years. Well, I feel grateful now that I am retired and I see that I am being recognized for the work that I have done. And I am happy that, they recognize people who have served and have not been forgotten.
The men and women on the front line of the battle against COVID-19 were officially recognized during a ceremony held on Sunday night. Among the many awardees was Commissioner of Police Chester Williams. This afternoon, he told us about the feeling of being recognized as a department.
It is a joyous occasion, and so I appreciate getting the award yesterday, and let me say that 1,500 police officers also got similar awards. So again, it shows that the government do recognize the effort of the police department in doing our best to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 virus within our country. So I want to say congratulations to all the awardees from last night, whether you're from the health department or from the Coast Guard or from the BDF or from the police. I think that the awards were well deserving, and we just need to continue to do what we have been doing, or do even greater than what we have been doing, to ensure that we continue to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic in our country.
And that's the news. Join us at 7:30 p.m. for another episode of Get the Facts, which features Dr. Eric Bradley, Dr. Selma Bermudez, and Bertha Gonzalez from KHMH. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.